You sure you're ready for this?
I'll do my best.
Your best. Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and the prom queen.
Welcome to the best soccer show. The best soccer show in the whole world.
Here we go. It's the best soccer show live on a Wednesday night. Jason Davis, Mr. Jared Dubois.
What's up, buddy?
Locked in, ready to go, talking about soccer. Talking soccer, guys.
As much as we ever do.
If you want to talk some soccer, you do it with us here. Welcome into this program. It is MLS Bedlam, which we're just going to kind of not acknowledge. I mean, we will at some point probably talk about MLS on some level, but
more like MLS boredom. Like every game ended like at halftime 0-0.
I wish I had like a standard rim shot, like, but good job there, Jared Dubois, with your funny jokes about no goals. Everybody's tired. That's what I think. I think everybody is tired. I'm tired, Jared.
Too many games.
Well, I mean, you got to squeeze them all in, right? And here's the thing about being the schedule being congested in all of this. And I think we talked about this on Sunday just a little bit, because there were like 15 American Olympic age eligible players who had a goal or assist on the weekend. We talked about the fact that teams are now having to go deep down their bench, right? They're going to have to go to some of these kids who may not have gotten a chance. So, if you were an MLS head coach, are you more likely now to say, oh yeah, 17-year-old homegrown, get your ass in the game. I gotta cover for, the 35-year-old veteran. He can't do it every 4 days.
Dude's got a broken muscle.
Can't do it every 4 days.
Oh, I can do it every 4 days.
What is it?
Jay Rodius.
Whatever she wants it to be.
Whatever she wants it to be. That's the way to go.
That's the key to a happy marriage. Most of the time, what she wants is for me to clean something.
Oh my gosh, that is exactly what she wants all the time. On this program, we're going to talk about some young American players, because Reggie Cannon is gone. Well, he's on his way, or he's preparing to leave, or whatever he's doing, right? Maybe he's got his COVID test. He's got to do that first.
He's somewhere between here and Lisbon. I don't know.
Right. So
is that where that team is in Lisbon? I'm not sure where that team is.
No, Porto. They're in Porto.
Porto?
They're in Porto. So Reggie Cannon looks like he's leaving. So on this program, we're going to talk about the next batch. That sounds like the Gremlins, right? A new batch. We're going to talk about the next batch of American players who might be headed to Europe, who might get their shot to get their big transfer. I think that's a very interesting conversation. We're going to tie a game into that. Speaking of transfers, we have to talk about the big move for Pity Martinez, Atlanta United, selling their Argentine star, which, I mean, I didn't expect to wake up today and find out Pity Martinez was going somewhere else.
Well, what was the transfer value on that? Did they say what that number was?
Reported
18?
by a couple of different people as $18 million, Jared.
I mean, if you wake up in the morning and someone's offering you $18 million for a guy that shows up every other game.
Yeah.
I mean, the only problem is, like, Atlanta's in full rebuild mode at this point. Then
we're going to talk about that and what this means for Atlanta United season. I think that's an interesting question. Also on the program here, as we do all of this on a Wednesday, well, Gonzalo Higuain also in the mix is possibly coming to Major League Soccer. So sort of the DP question and big name DPs and the question of how big is he? No. How not how chubby is. Sorry, I'm making fat jokes about Gonzalo Higuain already. I didn't mean to do that,
man. Talk about lowbrow.
I was just before the show started. I was just talking about how I feel like I'm in between a large and a medium, and I can only feel sorry for Gonzalo.
Yeah, I don't know if you could be a real man if you're between a large and a medium.
What? Wait, hold on. What does that mean?
At 43, you better be between at least a large and an extra large.
Well, I'm not 43, so I've got a couple years left before I crest that hill, I suppose. But what are you just completely like diminishing people? I don't mean that.
I'm just saying you haven't drank enough beer if you're between a medium and a large still. I mean, what do you do? Eating salads? What's wrong with you?
I'm gonna have to chase a toddler around in the next 3 years. I can't get out of shape.
I guess that's true. Your clock just started over, man. Like
old dad FC in full effect. And before we forget, and we're gonna talk DPs, we're also gonna maybe talk some Marco Polo. We haven't done that in a long time on this show. I have to recognize Atlantic City FC, who sent me a brand new shirt. I just got it today, rocking it on the show. It's another
That's a
Icarus
weird
FC
flex. That's a
joint.
weird flex on me.
No, you know what? Jared Dubois deserves a shirt here.
Well, I'm telling you, I've rethought my thinking on this. So, in the past, I've told you I can't support another MLS team. Don't send me your stuff. I won't take it. But if you're not an MLS team,
I
you're
think
like lower leagues, foreign team. I'm a whore.
I think okay. Well, you can't say things like that on this show. I was going to say that actually this is maybe funnier.
Gun for hire.
With lower division soccer, you are a gun for hire. You are a free agent. You are there.
Consider this a billboard for you.
If you want to send Jared Dubois, if you're Atlantic City FC, if you're anybody else in lower division soccer in the United States, hook my man up. He definitely deserves
scruples.
it. No scruples, except for his MLS love. He will never.
I will not wear. See, I don't have to worry about LAFC conflicts. I said no MLS teams.
No MLS teams. Okay, so it could be the dopest, best kit ever made in the history of MLS. Like, just it's absolute fire up and down.
No desire.
You would say no. Stay away from me.
Not my speed.
Not your speed. All right, let's get into this. Let's talk about these kids, and we will open up the phone lines at 717-727 BEST BEST 2378 if you want to jump in here. We are going to talk about these young players because Judgy Cannon is going to Portugal, and we haven't seen the number yet, right, Jared? In fact, let's do this already. We're going to play a game. We're going to talk about some of these young players. We're going to guess some transfer values. I think that'll be fun. And Nicky Soup and Sausage is going to do some research for us. Let's go ahead and say hello to Nicky Soup and Sausage, bring him straight into the program. It feels like his time because I was just watching the news and somebody famous was saying, it's just soup. It's just soup for my family.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I missed that too.
You're better. Okay, you guys are both better for that. It's something political. You're not going to have to get into it right now.
Okay.
But Nicky Soup and Sausage is going to look up some transfer values. Before we dive into the next players up, and everybody shoot us your thoughts here in the chat and call us up at 717-727-BET or on Twitter for that matter at Bestie Soccer. I want to know, Jared, what you think Reggie Cannon's value is. And we'll check on transfermarket.us as to what he's valued at right now. I don't know that's what Boa Vista in Portugal is paying for him, but I am curious what the number looks like. What do you think, Reggie Cannon?
Reggie Cannon, I'm going to say, man, 2 to 2.5.
Reggie Cannon is a $2.5 million player. Okay,
I think so. It's hard to. It's a defender still. You know.
Is this? Are we playing Price is Right rules on this show?
Well, we can introduce the game with Reggie Cannon if you like.
Okay, so we're gonna be doing this with This is so you are making a bid. I'm making a bid. Like we're in the Showcase Showdown, not the Showcase Showdown. What's the other thing where we all stand?
First thing?
Yeah, what's that called? The first bid.
I don't pricing game. I don't know. That's what
pricing game.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so this is what I've got. I've got this. Who doesn't love the theme song to Price is Right?
Are we gonna get sued for that?
I'll fade it out. I don't know what the copyright issue is on
Drew Carey's a soccer fan, so we might be okay.
This is old school. This is Bob Bradley. Bob Barker. Here's the other one. Or just for a little spice, because this is the best soccer show.
The price is wrong, bitch.
Okay, there's that one too. And if you really screw up here.
Get used to that one, Jason.
All right, so there's a Reggie Cannon up for a bid, and we're all making our choice here.
So we need Nicky Soup and Sausage to look up and tell us what Reggie Cannon's current value is. I came in at 2.2.5, 2 to 2.5. I guess I have to do an exact number though.
Yes, you do. You have to pick an exact number.
I'm gonna go with 2 then. I'm gonna go with 2, and I think we need to alternate who goes first. That's unfair if I keep going first every time.
Absolutely. So you're saying $2 million. It's closest without going over. So I'm gonna bid $1.
No, remember we said we were gonna do total value at the end.
Oh, we did say that, but that can't be Price is Right rules then. No, you ruined the
Price is Right rules.
Okay, well then
we'll do Price is Right rules.
No. You're right. We did say we're going to
prep the soundboard for God's sake.
I did prep the soundboard, but we're going to add this all up. We won't do Price is Right rules. In that case, I will say $1.5 million. Okay?
Okay.
Nicky Soup and Sausage, how much is Reggie Cannon valued by transfermarket.us?
$3.3 million.
Whoa! Your boy's closer.
What'd you say, Jason?
The price is wrong, bitch.
Okay, I said 1.5, so I was way off.
I went with 2. Wow, that's okay. That's let me know that my whole thinking here may be low.
This is what I'm saying. Like maybe we are undervaluing American play. Maybe we have.
Wait, is this website owned by SUM?
It's a good question. We'll have to check on the ownership of transfermarket.us. All right. So in that case, are we both like just going to present names and then we're going to
we can go back and forth and present a name. So,
Okay.
Do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first. I'm going to stay with FC Dallas. And yes, he has an injury which may affect his value. I don't know. He's going to have surgery. It may end his season, which is unfortunate, but this is a weird year anyway. Paxton Pomykal, midfielder for FC Dallas.
Also on my list, by the way.
A little bit of heat between, over a possible move, but nothing strong, nothing like, oh, this club is looking at Paxton Pomykal. But he has been compared, oddly enough, in some publications, including over in Spain, to Frankie de Jong. So that is elevated territory for Paxton Pomykal. All right, Jared, you want me to go first on Paxton?
Yeah, I went first last time, so you should go this time in terms of his market value.
Reggie Cannon was worth how much?
$3.3 million.
Okay, ooh. I'm going to say Paxton Pomykal is $4 million. I'm going to say $4 million for Paxton Pomykal. Jared Dubois.
I'm going to play a little bit of game theory here, and I'm going to go 4.2.
You're both over.
We're both over. So, I mean, again, that doesn't mean that isn't.
But I kept it close. I was up $500,000. So
we are adding up the difference. So, what is Paxton Pomykal's value according to TransferMarket.us?
Well, I don't know if this is a reliable website because they also say that Paxton Pomykal is worth $3.3 million. So I'm wondering if every Major League Soccer player is worth $3.3 million.
Maybe it's a Texas thing. I don't know.
Okay.
Texas thing. I don't know. 30.
Find out on the next one.
33.
What I'm really worried about is I might say a name.
Was when he died. Okay, sorry. I was going to whole place. You guys just shot me down. All right, go ahead.
I'm worried that I may end up saying a player that isn't even on the website. That's what I'm really worried about.
I think everybody's there because everybody's there. Don't worry about it.
Because I'm going deep with one. Okay, so like I'm going to be a little bit of a homer here, but I've been so impressed by this kid over the last 2 seasons. He's just now rounding into form with the first team for the LA Galaxy, and that's Julian Arago.
Okay, Julian Arago. Winger, fullback, what are we calling him?
Yeah, both. I mean, they're playing him as a winger right now. I think naturally the best position is a right back, but they've been playing as a midfield. He has the ability to do both.
Okay.
Good young kid, great engine, great tenacity, and actually plays a pretty good ball as well.
Okay, so he plays a good ball. He's got tenacity. How much is that worth?
Zlatan approved.
Zlatan approved. Was it Julian Arago he was given his approval to?
It was actually Efren Alvarez that he was given his approval. But the 360 like turn and shoot a goal against LAFC that was set up by Julian Arago. So I'm going to say Julian Arago 1.8.
$1.8 million, Julian Arago. Okay. I don't think he's had enough playing time and established himself enough. I'm going to say $1.3 million. 1.3. Nicky Soup and Sausage, Julian Arago. What you got?
Once again, you're both over. Transfer Market lists him at $660K.
Oof. Oh man, good. So again, I mean, you thought you were overshooting on a Paxton Pomykal or under
the Reggie Cannon value got me all off.
Yeah,
I'm thinking everything's going to go high. Now I got to adjust.
Well, I think maybe the key is that there has to be sort of like reported interest and like there's some buzz around a possible move, and Julian Arago just doesn't have that yet. It doesn't mean he's not a good player, but he's just not there. So we're making Nick do some math. So this might be a little dragged out.
A real producer would have a spreadsheet. I'm just saying, like, would do the math for you.
All right, let's go. You know what? Let's go to one of the first guests on the reboot of the Best Soccer Show, a guy who was on this show with us talking about his time in Orlando. Brendan Aronson of the Philadelphia Union. Actual buzz, 100% buzz around Brendan Aronson. Now, is it real?
You and I have a discussed value on this too. We both have kind of gone on the record where we find the value for Brendan Aronson.
What'd you say?
We've both talked about the value we think he may be.
That we think that Philadelphia might need that they want to get out of this potential transfer. Yeah, that does not mean that TransferMarket.us agrees with us, though.
Okay.
Let's see. Reggie Cannon was 3.3. Paxton Pomykal was 3.3.
Yeah.
Man,
Anderson's got more heat, right?
You think so? I mean, at the moment, he certainly does. It kind of depends on when they refresh these values, and I think they did right after Orlando. So I'm going to say $3.7 million for Brendan Aronson.
I was on the record saying between, I think, 3 to 5. That was my range. I'm going to go a little bit higher here. He's got his hair's getting at a good length. I think he's marketable on the international circuit.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 4.1.
Oh, by the way,
Nick Dills were both high.
the market transfer market website says these were updated on August 26th, so pretty recently.
Yep.
4.4 million is
your
the number
boy.
for Brendan Aronson.
All right. So, okay. So 3.7, 4 point, what'd you say? 4.1.
4.1.
4.1. So right there, pretty close.
Closest one yet.
Let's just pause here for a second. If you're Ernst Tanner, if you're Jim Curtin, are you signing off on a deal that sends Brendan Aronson abroad?
I think it partially depends on if another guy at Union goes as well. If you're selling one, I think you can afford to maybe go at that 4.1, 4.3 area right there. If you're selling both, you got to make sure you get a good amount of money because you're taking a big chunk of your team out. I think you want $5 million for Brendan Aronson.
Well, you're not turning that around in 2020. You're not replacing those guys with that money in 2020. So it almost doesn't matter.
They got a 2.0 Aronson right on the bench. They
do. He's a little bit younger. But that's PAX 10, right? That's PAX 10.
Yeah, these guys, these rich old guys that own teams, they're used to trading in for younger models. They do it all the time.
By the way, PAX 10 Aronson, who has signed a deal with the first team, is playing still for Philadelphia Union too. I just saw a highlight of him.
Do they spell it PAX with a 1-0 at the end, like PAX 10?
I've seen that suggested by Philadelphia fans, so that's not something we can own. But you did come up with two PAX for Paxton Pomykal and Paxton Aronson, which
that's recognized.
I just made a hit 'em up joke yesterday on my Instagram for Harry Maguire.
I think I have a pretty fun one coming up next.
Okay. All right. You tell me.
Number 3 on my list, potential American that could be transferred over abroad. And it's one that I don't think we've ever really talked about because maybe we just think he may be a lifer here.
Oh,
Jordan Morris.
This is interesting. Now, how old is Jordan Morris at this point? Because I think
he's got to be 24, 25?
If he's 20, 24, 25. Okay.
He finished Stanford right at 21. Didn't he finish early at Stanford?
He didn't. I don't know. He finished. He is 25. He's going to be 26 on October 26th.
Here's the difference between the guys we're talking about so far and Jordan Morris. Full national teamer.
Yep.
Rings on his finger.
Yes.
A winner. A proven winner.
Dog lover. Don't forget about that. He's a dog lover.
Okay. All right.
You don't know what I'm talking about with that? You don't know what that
No idea.
The story is that Jordan Morris turned down an opportunity to go to Werder Bremen because he didn't want to leave a dog.
He and his girl just got a dog or something, right?
That was Jermaine Jones who outed Jordan Morris.
Does that bring his transfer value down then? Because they can't count on him potentially actually showing up to the plane?
That's a good question. I don't know. Well, you got to quarantine your dog. It's a whole thing. I don't know.
So Jordan Morris, I think this is going to be probably the biggest number that either of us put out here.
Really? You think? Okay. I mean,
do you think transfer values are more based on potential then?
I think that it's a weird alchemy that is about your age, but also about what you've proven, and potential and buzz can mean more for value than what you've actually accomplished.
Here's the thing that Jordan Morris can supply that these other people we've talked about so far can't. He can get a work permit in England. He is a regular national team player. His caps qualify him, whether he has a passport or not. And some of these guys, I'm not sure if they have passports that they can play. But in England, he can get a work permit right now. So that brings England into a play, which a lot of the other guys maybe don't.
That's okay. That's interesting. I don't know how transfermarket.us takes that into account in terms of whether or not they consider, the work permit situation. Okay. Is it my turn to go first?
No, it's my guy. Sure. So we go first for our own guys.
Got it.
I'm going to put Jordan Morris, and this is one I really wish I wasn't going second. Jordan Morris, I'm going to put 6.2.
$6.2 million.
Wow. 25.
$6.2 million. In
his prime.
It's a lot of money. I really don't. I'm going to be honest. I have no idea.
Shot in the dark, for sure.
No idea what Jordan Morris's value is. My gut says it's lower by at least $1 million, maybe $1 million. I'll say $4.5 million.
Okay, this is one that can separate us for sure.
So to give you an idea, this website also tells you what their highest previous rank was.
Oh.
Back in November of 2019, he hit this same level. He's finally back to where he was back in November, but he's at 3.85 million.
What?
I just had a feeling that you were over the top with this one.
Wow. I don't understand. I don't understand a system where
I think there's a couple of things to play here, and this is just me trying. I think maybe Jordan Morris is not appreciated because he's not necessarily a skillful player. I mean, he has skills, don't get me wrong, but you're not going to expect Jordan Morris to take the ball and dribble 3 guys. I mean, I guess he's done it recently, but I don't know. There's something he's not.
I think it's different. I think the difference, which probably may be breaking down his value, is the ceiling cap. How much
25?
Well, not just age. Is Jordan Morris ever going to be better than he is right now?
Yeah, that's you're maxed out. This is what you were talking about with potential. The chances are that Jordan Morris is a good player, but he's not going to get markedly better in the next 2 or 3 years if he goes to Europe. Whereas you can be positive that a Brendan Aronson, a Paxton Pomykal, a Reggie Cannon, if they get the right coaching and they get some playing time, are going to get better, or it's conceivable that they get better. And I think for Reggie, the thing that maybe we're not talking enough about is that Portugal, while it's a great feeder league, maybe isn't the best soccer. And what you hope for is maybe a year of Reggie playing some good soccer for a team that's going to be.
Portugal is the MLS of Europe. It's where you go to get noticed to move on to something else.
Is that hate? Is that hate on? Is that shade? How do we?
People hop from for Portugal all the time.
They do. I mean,
but don't you think with Morris, if he was Europe caliber, he would have already gone by now?
No, well, yes, maybe.
I mean, he had the chance.
He's also that player that maybe doesn't want to. Maybe isn't that interested. Maybe likes playing for Seattle, his hometown team, and all that. Sure. I mean, those things.
He's the new Landon Donovan.
I agree with the statement about him being a lifer in MLS. I feel like he probably is going to play his entire career here in this.
Well, I mean, again,
I think he's alone. I think
he's already 26 at this point. Like, the window is going to close on him. There's not going to be an opportunity to go anywhere else if he doesn't take it next year. By the way, that's the quote. That's the league I was thinking of when you said Portugal is the MLS of Europe. I think Holland is the MLS of well.
Difference is Holland gets teams into the semifinals of Champions League once in a while.
Occasionally they do. with Ajax. And by the way, Serginho Dest, maybe we can play this game with Serginho Dest, a non-MLS player, because he's been being talked about with some massive clubs, and we're gonna have to get into that.
They're gonna make me really do some math.
Maybe at a future show we could do Americans already in Europe and what their values would be if they were to move. I'm going to throw another curveball. Well, I don't know. You might have an idea on this one. How many have you done? Is that 4 for you now? That is 1, 2, 3. That's 3 for me. We shared one, but yeah. Okay. So let's do one more. I think I have one more for my third. Is that right? You went first, I believe. Okay. So this would be my fourth in that case. Okay. I want to do one more, and then I think we should move on to some other things tonight. I'm going to throw Gianluca Busio at you. Okay. Midfielder. Thought about writing him down. In the city. Now, thing about Busio is he's still very, very young. I think he's still growing into himself physically. That most kids that age. But I also think that his position is a bit of a thing because he's now getting played as a deep line playmaker, kind of a 6 in that system with Peter Vermees, whereas you might have thought of him as a wing player or maybe higher up the field. And this is an interesting development. I mean, this is a little bit of Frankie Amaya in Cincinnati, who was more of a creative player in college and is now being pushed back in the formation. So, and Gianluca Busio has real heat. It's Italian heat, and that's pretty sexy heat, if you ask me. Yeah, I think I'm trying to think the teams he was. Was it Napoli? He was. I think Fiorentina has come up. Fiorentina. Okay. Yeah. All right. You go first. Yeah, I'm okay. And this is shot in the dark, and I may have looked at this at some point. 18 now? He might be. He is 18. 17. Is he 18 now? He turned 18? Okay. I'm going to say Gianluca Busio is $3.3 million. I'm going to go 2.1. Okay. Mr. Soup and Sausage. All right. I'll give you an idea. He is currently at his max that he's ever been so far, according to the ratings. But he is at $3.85 million. I think transfer market's lazy. I think. I came in under. What we're learning here is being young is the best thing you can do to affect your market value. The younger you are, the more you haven't screwed it up, the more desirable you are. Like, we didn't have magazines making us feel bad enough about how we look and how we age. I think we are bringing, we're bringing some age and some wisdom and some salt and pepper sexiness to the table. But that's, we're not trying to get transfers to Europe right now, Jared. We're lifers. We're American soccer lifers. So that's the thing. Okay. Are we going to ask Nick to give us the final results and tally this all up and tell us what the numbers are? Give me a minute. I'll get on it. Okay. So Nick's going to do some math. Okay,
And
so
we'll
just for
move
fun,
on.
who are the other two names on your list? We won't do values, but who are the other two names on your list?
It's kind of coming up with these as we went along. But I thought about throwing this, and this would be a complete curveball. But I thought about throwing Cole Bassett at you because I don't know. He's Colorado, so
Is
completely.
that an R&B singer?
What'd you say?
Is that an R&B singer?
It sounds like an R&B singer, right? He definitely dropped an album in the 90s where he's lounging on something.
I think he was the dude with the cane in Boys to Men.
He was the bass in Boys to Men. Cole Bassett. Yeah,
that's who that was. Or Angela's son. I don't know. But mine was I had Chris Mueller, which I'm kind of surprised neither of us talked about. To this
interesting.
Point.
Okay.
And then Jesus Ferreira.
Jesus Ferreira is an interesting one too. I don't think his value is very high right now.
But it had a no prompting from each other. We both came up with $3 players. It says a lot about him.
Well, the other one I had was Mark McKenzie, which we didn't talk about, and there's actual real heat behind him too, and potential for him to leave. And I don't know, center backs are kind of, how center backs have been good for Major League Soccer. Tim Ream, Matt Miazga, those Red Bull players. But they've been pretty good for MLS in terms of sales. So we'll see here. All right. So
maybe one day Long will finally get his chance to go to West Ham. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. You know who he should get on his side to support his move to West Ham?
Corey Gibbs.
Triple H.
Oh, Triple H. Yeah, I hear that he has a lot of pull with West Ham.
He's a big West Ham guy. Yeah, so he might be.
Declan Rice ain't going nowhere.
Declan Rice is staying because Triple H. I can't do a Triple H.
I don't know what a Triple H was.
Play the game. Isn't that the song? Okay.
I honestly didn't know what a Triple H was before today.
A different thing in your head, I'm sure. Triple H, completely different thing. I don't want to. Okay, we'll move on. Major League Soccer transfers. Woke up today, not expecting Atlanta United to make any big changes, but apparently they're going to sell Pity Martinez to Saudi Arabia again for $18 million.
Saudi Arabia, though, man, why is this guy going that direction?
Because they have $18 million that they want to spend on him, and he's not worth that.
I guess, okay, you go from South American Player of the Year, and then you come to Atlanta, underperform, and you're already in Saudi Arabia. It just seems like there would have been, I guess maybe profile and legacy means nothing to him at this point. It's just about the money. He's done everything he wants to do.
Well, I mean, look, he won a Copa Libertadores. That's a thing, right? He did that at River Plate. Maybe he still has designs on Europe, but he's also 26 years old. So if they're not coming for him now, and he's played 1.5 pretty crappy years in Atlanta, or inconsistent at the very least, shown some nice pops here or there, but he hasn't been lighting the league up. If he was Carlos Vela, there'd be a different situation. If he was putting up those kind of numbers, maybe. So
is he giving up on MLS then? Like
giving up?
Okay, let me say this differently. Did Atlanta get their money's worth?
No, but if they sell him for a profit, then who cares?
Okay.
I mean,
but like we said at the top of the show, this really puts them in rebuild mode. Joseph Martinez isn't ready to play yet. ACL still recovering. Pity Martinez is gone. Gressel's gone. I mean, you've got so many guys. Nagby's gone. It's rebuild time. You don't have a coach, and they're already talking about maybe they've already identified their next DP signing. That was something that was out in there today. They haven't said a name, but they said they've already identified their next DP signing, and they don't have a coach. So if you're the coach, wouldn't you want to have some input on that?
Well, I would think that they would be smart enough to wait for the coach to come in before they make a DP signing. Because if I'm not mistaken, Pity Martinez and that whole thing went down before Tata Martino said he was leaving. And clearly it was a bad fit for Frank de Boer. I mean, it was never going to work out.
Okay, regarding Atlanta United, then I got to pick your poison for you on their coaching position.
Okay.
See what you think. Very simple. It's a true or false almost. Okay, just this or that.
Okay.
Should Atlanta United hire a domestic American coach after having 2 foreign coaches in a row?
Yeah.
Or should they go overseas to find their coach?
Are they identifying who they are? I mean,
listen, this isn't launching Atlanta, make a big splash Atlanta. This is 3-4 years down the road now, Atlanta.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of a wounded animal from where they were 2 years ago. Do they get a little bit more, I want to say.
Well, so are you gonna ask me if the fans are going to give them any slack?
Yeah, I mean, are they going to splash cash for a coach at this point?
They should. I think they should. If you have ambition, and this is what you always look. I know you don't want the Galaxy to go to sign Chicharito Hernandez and put a Band-Aid on a gate.
That's not ambition.
What'd you say?
That's not ambition.
No. I know. I'm saying that ambition takes different forms, and you can't just say money and spending on one player is ambition. But they set a bar, right? They said, this is who we are. And this was why Frank de Boer was a disaster from the very beginning, because everybody knew if you're going to play Tata Martino style soccer, you're going to win a championship in your second year. Well, why would you go hard left and play with a guy who's going to put, he's not putting 10 men behind the ball, but his idea is possession soccer, playing these triangles, not necessarily moving the ball, advancing the ball quickly, which is what Atlanta United was always about. Get the ball upfield as quickly as possible with Tata Martino and Miguel Almiron and all of that. You go in a different direction with Frank de Boer, it's not going to work. Then you get the Pity Martinez signing on top of that. Ezequiel Barco, who, don't forget, got nearly run out of town because he was hooking up with a teammate's girlfriend. I mean, sauce on top of sauce. I think that they need to go back to South America.
You don't know where that guy put his sauce.
I don't know what it is.
Jay Rodius.
Was it chimichurri, you think?
Is he Argentinian?
Ezequiel Barco? Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it was, I'm sure.
Is that appropriate to call it chimichurri? Sounds like it's okay.
I don't know.
I think they have to go back down there. I do. I think they need to recapture what that was under Tata. It's not going to be the same, right? But they could try. They can make an effort at it.
Here's the thing: if they want to play
like crap ton of money,
if they want to play a Latin American style, which made them who they were in that first couple of years under Tata Martino,
yes.
Why do you hire Frank de Boer?
That's what I just said.
Yeah, but it makes me feel like I don't know that that's who they want to be, Jason.
So what you're, I guess the question is, do you think that if they do go back to that, and we're going to get to Nick and the results here in a second, but if you do go back to that, it's oversteering after the mistake of de Boer, like, all right, I'm drifting into the ditch, hard back the other way, and now the car's flipped over and I'm tumbling. You think that's going to happen if they go back to South America and try to recapture it?
I just don't know if you can capture lightning in a bottle again the way they did with the first players that they signed out of there. You don't have. It's a big launch. It's a big event. Tata Martino, big name. In South America, there's so much behind that initial movement. I don't know if they can get that ball rolling fast enough to snowball like that again.
Well, this doesn't have to be a marquee name. It just has to be somebody who fits the identity that Tata Martino was established.
So you didn't go. Is your call then foreign coach? That's what they need to do right now.
Yes. I mean,
okay.
No. That's okay. Hold on. That's not exactly.
Jason Davis, professional fence sitter. Here we go.
No, this is not. First of all, this binary is dumb because you can have an American coach.
My question's dumb. That's the problem.
I didn't say that, man.
Damn, dog.
I'm saying
that
you can find an American coach who wants to play run and gun soccer. You can find that person.
Yeah, I think all of American MLS has been trying to find that for 20 years.
Well, this is
true. Show them to me.
This is true. There aren't a lot of them out there, but I'm sure there's somebody that exists.
I had heard that Caleb Porter was supposed to be that guy. That's what I heard.
Well, he was always possession based at Akron and building into MLS, and then he got pragmatic because MLS beat you down. Now, and by the way, Tata Martino learned that lesson too. It's just he learned it in the playoffs when he could get away with it because they were chasing a championship. All right,
so where are they going?
I think they go back to South America. I do. I think they go back down to South America. Nikki,
double down.
Tell us who won the transfer value game, the Price is Right game here.
Oh man,
on the Bet Soccer.
I shot myself in the foot.
All right, so with the first showcase showdown, Jason comes in with a total of $18,300,000 bid. Jared's bid comes in at a total of $20,400,000. The actual retail price of this bid comes in at $19,360,000. Jason Davis is our winner.
He won by like 200,000.
How much did I beat it by?
Well, you were under by 1,060,000, and Jared was over by 1,040,000.
Oh man,
so
that's super close.
It was very whatever. If Price is Right rules.
Oh my god, I should have been underbidding the whole time. I forgot that the stupid Price is Right rules. I have an issue with this because the Price is Right rules are dumb because it doesn't reward you for being close to the answer. It only rewards you for being not risky.
It's just a wrinkle to make the game a little bit harder, Jared. It's just game show rules.
It's a wrinkle to handicap for people that suck.
Wow, why wouldn't you like some wrinkles in your games? I don't know. You want straightforward binary choices, right?
If you know anything about game show hosts, none of them like wrinkles. They will tan and Botox their skin.
If I'd have known, I would have tanned. I would have got the hair gel, but I wasn't prepared. Sorry, guys.
Gotten it all in there. All right. So in addition to Pity Martinez leaving for $18 million, and we're talking about Atlanta United's identity, I think this is Jared, to put a bow on this particular thing, do you think they have to do this for 18 mil, a player that reportedly spent 14 million to sign. Do you think they should sell him?
18 million is just too much money not to sell the player. You don't know his. Here's why I say yes. Do you feel that his market value is going up or down at this point?
Down.
Okay, so I just think if you can turn 4 million on Pity Martinez and then start over and start finding the next wave of talent that's going to make Atlanta United who they once were, you basically scrap this season. Joseph Martinez should be back for the next one, and you try to find that player that's going to create for him and open up space for him.
I do wonder about Barco and how long he stays, and I don't think his value is going up necessarily. And
we saw the from Cody McKinney in the chat saying that he got into an altercation with the coaching staff as he got subbed off tonight.
So everybody's just a little salt in Atlanta right now, is what you're saying. Like that's a thing that's happening. And the danger here is, and I wonder how quickly they move on the coach. The danger here is the whole thing spirals completely out of control. And you're talking about 2021 being a rebuilding year. And I don't think you want to do that if you're Atlanta United after all the goodwill that you've built. And by the way, coming back hopefully with fans in the stands next season, you want to be better than that. Let's talk about Gonzalo Higuain here for a second, Jared. And the rumor that he's moving to Major League Soccer to join Inter Miami. And I made some jokes at his expense earlier. Maybe he's wearing a large jersey size these days. Is he a good choice for Major League Soccer at Inter Miami right now?
Good choice. Yeah, I mean, if you want a guy that's going to be able to finish what Pizarro is creating, what Matuidi is going to be making, Higuain obviously has a track record even playing with the second player. He's there. Juventus together. So I think there's a good signing for MLS. Now, is it the biggest or the most notable or marketable? No, but I don't know that Miami needs that right now. I mean, I guess maybe because it's Miami, there's New York, there's LA, and then we thought there's Miami. Those are the marquee places players are going to play, the people that can pull the biggest names. So when you were touting Suarez and you bring Higuain, that's different than what I think some people were looking to happen down there.
Really?
Fine signing.
Oh,
but
okay.
You think Higuain is a better signing than Luis Suarez?
No, I don't. I just think that your Major League Soccer, you're not the prettiest girl in the room.
Not the prettiest girl in the room. Got Beckham, got Henry, got Drogba, got Zlatan, got Rooney. Go on and on. Have I mentioned a player with a lower profile than Higuain yet?
No, you have not.
So I mean, they're not okay. Would Suarez be above any of those?
Mention that one. Suarez would be bigger than some of those. Not bigger than Henry.
Bigger than Rooney, especially when Rooney came. Luis Suarez right now is better than Wayne Rooney was when he came to DC United.
Okay, I could see that argument. I could see, but you're saying this is a letdown. That's your argument. This is a letdown.
I'm saying that with what we expected Miami to bring the sexy, right? Miami's supposed to bring the sexy. They got the pink kind of black uniforms looking hot. They got the Beckham up on top.
Yeah, but also they have those plain white joints that they sweat through all the time. That was
look hot if they got the bodies underneath to make it. I mean,
you just like right. That's your thing. I don't even know.
I mean, don't judge a guy. I also like washboards say abs, man. Like it's there.
All right.
But I'm just saying, we have plenty. There's St. Louis coming in. There's all these other cities that are just like, okay, that good city, But this was Miami. This is Beckham's team. We've been waiting since 2013, 14, somewhere in that range. Whenever 14, I think, when Beckham retired.
You think Miami should be more like NYCFC was out of the gate? I'm not saying that was successful, obviously. But
NYCFC may have signed Messi, for God's sakes.
Well, that's in 3 years' time after he spent some time in Manchester. I'm talking about,
is David Villa a better signing than Higuain?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Even at the New York City FC's lower bar.
I mean, exactly.
Red Bulls brought in Henry. LA's brought in. I mean, these other big market teams that were desirable places for elite level athletes to live.
But what if they just want to build something? I mean, again, Higuain is a placeholder. He's a guy that comes in and gives you 2 seasons. Hopefully, you get 35 goals out of it.
So you're saying that I'm forcing the sexiness tag on them? They've done nothing to build that for themselves.
I'm saying that you from afar are wanting Miami to be something that maybe they don't want to be or don't think they need to be. Maybe they think maybe sustainable is better for them, or maybe their ideas about, and again, obviously Gonzalo Higuain's not a sustainable signing for the long term, But if you pay him a couple $1 million for 2 seasons and then move on, and you've got Blaise
All I'm
Matuidi,
saying, man, is if you're Michael Jordan, you don't lay up. If you've got the ability to do more, do something better. You're expecting 360 windmills on a breakaway. You're not expecting him to lay it up. Miami is laying it up right now, which is okay if you want to win. Layups got a great percentage of scoring, but I can see layups at any team in the league, man.
We got a voicemail on some transfers. Let's go to this. By the way, if you want to leave us a voicemail in between shows, if you can't call in, 717-727-BEST. You can leave us a voicemail and we'll play it on our next program. So here we go. This is a voicemail from one of our besties.
Hey guys, John from Colorado. I just wanted to call in about this whole Messi debacle. I'll probably be in the minority here, be the only one who thinks this way, but I'm over it. I don't want it to happen. I could care less. Put aside financial fair play and what else you could do with those resources, investing in the club the other ways. Let's focus on what happened with Frank Lampard and how he signed multi-year contract with ICFC, sent out to loan to Man City, seeing any similarities so far, and then ended up extending that loan through the end of the year to help them with their second half of the season push. Thinking about what could happen with Messi and whatnot, and I don't think he'll ever play in New York City, and I don't want to have to deal with the agony of having to say, well, is he going to come? Is he not going to come? I skip it altogether. I'm over it, and probably in the minority, but whatever. Yep. Thanks, guys.
Who hurt you, John? Who hurt you, man?
The Rapids hurt him. He's in Colorado, man.
I'm not on John's side of this at all. And
I see his point, though, because here's the thing. This is a similar deal that they did with Lampard, correct? Lampard did not come here.
No, but Lampard signed with New York City FC, but then said, I still want to play out a season, and then got loaned back to Manchester City and didn't arrive in MLS until the summer. Is a whole thing, injured and all of that. I don't think this is this. Look, I'm not saying it's better. I don't think it's the same though.
Okay, but I do see the point too. Is that 3 years from now, what's Messi's health? I mean, we're selling ourselves on Messi being here in 3 years. He could have an injury by then.
By the way, I'm not positive Lionel Messi is going to be good for MLS in 3 years' time. I don't know if he's going to be healthy. I don't know if he's going to balloon up while he's in Manchester for playing for City. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be interested. I don't know any of that. But I'll tell you what, that if you can't know that yet, you should still want Lionel Messi. He's Lionel Messi. He hasn't done anything yet.
I see Lionel Messi
to give you a reason to want him.
I see Lionel Messi at 36 coming to MLS as Carlos Valderrama in 96. I think he's going to be at a level where he will ping the ball anywhere on the field, not run much, and be able to be a game changer from wherever he's at on the field. The team will change for him.
Okay, but what is there something wrong with that? And by the way,
no, I know I'm saying like it's curtain calls. It's like, oh my God, you see that pass? It's gonna be very similar, I think, to Zlatan when he was here, where he's a traffic cone on the field. When the ball gets him, though, it's amazing.
Sure,
and that's all you care about. But the rest of the team may suffer as a result of it.
No, that's very possible, but I don't care about that. I don't care.
Is he gonna play on turf?
That's a good question too. I mean, by the way, where's NYCFC going to be playing in 3 years' time? Are they going to
even get a stadium? Like,
no.
You can't get one built in 3 years, but can they find something and adapt it in 3 years? You think
they can play at Red Bull Arena in 3 years? They can do that.
God, can you imagine that you have Lionel Messi and he's playing in Jersey.
Yeah, I mean, are you hating on Jersey now? Like that's.
I'm just saying, you put City in your name, you better get him in the city.
Yeah, no, I do get that. I understand, and I've always been the guy who says, like, don't go for the old player, go for the young, sexy player out of South America. Like, do something that is about the future. And, Major League Soccer needs to be better about trusting itself and trusting the fans and finding a way to be the feeder league it really wants to be or whatever. But at the same time, there are exceptions. Didier Drogba is an exception. David Villa is an exception. Lionel friggin' Messi is a friggin' exception, Jared. He just is. I don't know. Even at 36, he's just an exception.
Yeah, American Soccer Archive saying we sound like old guy FC. By the way, it's old dad FC.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, get it right.
We sound like
old dad. We deserve that respect.
Yeah, I made life.
I contributed Jeans. I was going to say something about material, but that's probably not the right
Probably
word.
not the right way of going about it. But what makes us old guys here is that we don't want the hotness, or that we're not fully embracing the hotness, or that we don't want, or that are we old guy AFC because we want Messi, a guy who the league shouldn't be going down that path of bringing old stars still here, and we're in favor of it.
Quit saying we, because I don't think we're in the same column necessarily on this, right?
Okay.
Are you saying roll the red carpet out, or are you saying, hey, maybe, I don't know, John's got a point? But okay, here's the other thing about this. John's attitude is absolutely the guy who's like waiting, doesn't date anybody because he's waiting for that person he really likes to break up with the person they're with at the moment, right? And that's a crappy place to be, because you're like, oh, I know that's not going to end. That's going to end, and I know I'll have my shot. But in the meantime, what are you doing? You're sitting on your hands. You're not picking up the phone. You're not doing anything. You're not getting out there into the world. You're not mixing it up, Jared. I think that's kind of what he's talking about, right? That psychological thing that hangs over the heads of all MLS fans.
I think there is a camp of MLS fans, and maybe not to speak for him, but maybe John's in this camp where it's like, screw that, go for the next young product out of South America and be a part of someone's rise, not a part of someone's fall.
Okay. I mean, I think what's interesting is in Atlanta, we're watching Pity Martinez leave for a lot of money, but not necessarily raising his profile and getting the big move to Europe that maybe people thought he might if he played well in Atlanta. Ezequiel Barco, the jury is out on what happened.
He's a player.
He's a different kind of player. The jury is out as to whether or not, he's going to
Playing hot dogs and donuts with two fangirls in the locker room.
I don't know if he's going to make a big move for any money, but I think everybody's pretty sure that Diego Rossi is going to go and going to get a lot of money in for LAFC. I think there are other players coming out of South America. I mean, I don't know if the Galaxy can afford to buy Pavone, but Pavone is playing well enough that maybe he's going to.
For my money, best player in the league right now. I mean, he's up there. I mean, there's Rossi. There's I'm Pitti on his day, but not consistently. Pavone, Rossi. I mean, I'm not sure. Do you think I think it's a two-man race right now in terms of who's the best player in this league is right now, and it's those two guys. Do you see a third in there anywhere?
It's such a weird situation and I haven't seen the results. We're doing this show during a bunch of games. Stuff is happening across Major League Soccer, and so I don't know if I can.
But the fact that you can't think of one without looking and seeing what's happening tonight means no one is doing it consistently.
I mean, I would have to kind of go through the mental Rolodex and
Rui Diaz, maybe.
Rui Diaz is up there, sure. I mean, Jordan Morris is up there in that conversation now.
Come on, guy.
Come on, guy.
You put Carlos Pavone. Jesus, shows my age right there. That's old guy FC. You put Christian Pavone. Christian
Pavone.
I almost said Carlos again.
Yeah. No, he's just in your head. He lives in there for some reason.
I know him and Carlo Costly, I guess. You put Pavone and Morris on the field together. There's no way you pick Morris out of those two guys watching them on the same field together.
I mean, obviously, look, Pavone is more of an individual player, whereas Jordan Morris needs his team, and he needs Nico Ladero, and he needs Rui Diaz to do work. So there's that. I think
Pavone. If Galaxy owned Pavone, he is the most expensive transfer value target in the league.
I'd have to think about that one. And by the way, transfermarket.com does give you like what they say is the most expensive player rated.
Nicky, you still got that site up? Can I hear what Pavone and Diego Rossi's values are? I'm interested to see which one of those two guys is higher, right?
Yeah. Okay. Holden is saying Darlington Nagbe deserves mention as maybe the best player in the league right now. Obviously, he's a midfield player. He's a link player.
Different kind of player. So Nagbe's game was always going to be somewhat understated. I mean, when he makes goals like that, like he did a week ago, though, I mean, it seems like those are the only kind of goals he does score, but he's always going to be understated. And we're 2 years removed from what happened to Darlington Nagbe. Let's not forget that. There was a time as he left Portland, it was like, is he the player that he once was as he went to Atlanta? He changed his positions too, the way he plays.
Well, I think he was always this player. It was just how he was used. And by the way, he just had some spectacular moments in Portland that got us all worked up, hot and bothered about what he could be as a goal scorer. And that wasn't going to be his game. And then you see it again with that rip he had a week and a half ago. It's the same kind of thing. It's like, oh my God, he can pull that out of his bag every now and then. It's like that. Whatever's that Frisbee that you said, like curls or something?
They all curl.
No, but you said one was like a cutter or something. I don't know.
There's overstable and understable. Maybe that's
what it is. But I mean, like, he's got that tool, but he doesn't always use it, right? So it's incredibly interesting to see. Anyway, Sebastian Blanco definitely deserves a mention in there as in terms of the best player.
I mean, the problem is the best transfer value, the team with the highest transfer value across the board is going to be LAFC. It's not even close. From top to bottom.
For sure. And by the way, that's Atlanta can be that.
I'm not giving Vela any love in this as well. Vela's probably the number one transfer value, but I just don't know that his value may be hurt by the fact that no one knows if he ever wants to go play anywhere.
Well, he's 29 now, so I wouldn't imagine that's gonna bring it down. So we're gonna get Nicky Soup and Sausage to give us the values here on Diego Rossi and Carlos. I did it too. Christian,
I know, man. That's old guy FC. That's old dad FC right there, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get those. You got them, Nick? Are you ready for this?
All right, I'm working on it.
Oh,
you put in a last name and like 50 million results show up.
Yes,
so
yes, I know.
Trying to find it.
There's
You said Giuseppe Rossi, right?
No. Just so you know, I'm not looking for Giuseppe Rossi. I'm looking for Diego Rossi.
Diego Rossi.
Giuseppe Rossi's worth a 6-pack and a yo-yo.
Giuseppe Rossi might score some goals, but
he might score some
healthy.
goals.
It's going to be interesting to watch that. By the way, I would love to get Giuseppe Rossi on this program. Can we work that out? Can we get?
If we bring him on the program, I want to make sure that we can ask the questions we want to ask.
What does that mean?
I want to make sure he's down to talk about some of the things that are more controversial.
Are you a traitor to your country? That's what you want to ask.
Like that. I want to know. I do want to know. Hey, when you're playing that game against the U.S. in a World Cup, how do you feel about that? How does that feel?
He didn't play. Did he play against the U.S. in a World Cup?
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He played in a Confederations Cup. He didn't play against them in a World Cup. He wasn't in that team in 2006. He wasn't ready for Italy yet. He got offered maybe to play for the U.S. by Bob Bradley.
Good World Cup did Italy in 2010 though.
Yes, but they did not play the United States that year. Go ahead, Nick.
All right, so Diego Rossi is worth 19.8 million.
Woo! Just ahead of Pitti.
That is sexy.
And right, Christian Pavone.
I'll look up the other one.
Christian Pavone. There's no H in there. Christian Pavone. Okay.
Give me a minute.
Okay. We'll work on that. We'll see. Look, I think that obviously this is, this is a situation where the transfer values in Major League Soccer are going to be all over the map just based on the reputation of the league and then the youth of the players and everything else. Okay. You got Christian Pavone?
12.1 million.
12.1. All right. Let's go to the phone lines. We got Gio and Waco who wants to talk about Jordan Morris, who I said maybe is the best player in MLS right now, and Jared Dubois shot me down. Gio,
oh, God.
Yeah, I'm on your side there, Jason, because I'm a little confused at how people are giving so much disrespect to Jordan Morris these days, and it's not like the overt kind of like, oh, he's trash kind of disrespect. It's we're just not even talking about him, even though he's been in form for like over a year at this point. And when you're in form for over a year, I think that just means you're really, really good.
We take it for granted, Jared. You think?
Okay, here's the thing, though. Jordan Morris can't be the best player in this league when he's the third best player on his team.
You think? Okay, you really think that he's
Rui Diaz and Lodero are better players than Jordan Morris? You're going to argue otherwise.
No,
Jordan Morris is more consistent. I'll give you that.
Well, that can be better.
Come on, dude. Like, if I asked you to list the top 10 players in MLS and we weren't having this conversation right now, would Jordan Morris even be on your list?
Criteria. Like, do I want a player who's going to give me 15 and 10 in a year?
Use whatever criteria that Jason Davis makes you happy on the inside. Would his name been on that list of 10 best players in MLS?
Happy on the inside. On the top 10 players in
MLS. If I asked you to write the 10 best players in MLS, would you have wrote Jordan Morris's name down?
He might be in the 10 area. He might be a 10. It's possible. It's possible if I think about it.
Gio, is he number one to you, Gio?
Oh, not at all. He's definitely top 5, though.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That's aggressive. And by the way, let's to Gio's point about this. Look, you could make an argument. Jared, go ahead. You give me 10 players better than Jordan Morris right now.
Oh my Lord. I can
do it.
Okay. I will say Vela.
Carlos Vela, okay. When he's not injured, when he's playing, yes.
Pavone. I know Diego Rossi.
Okay, Diego Rossi.
I'm gonna say I'm sorry, Blanco for Portland.
Sebastian Blanco, okay. Are we 4 now? 4.
Yeah, but that's 4. Let's see. I'm gonna go with guy on the spot. Pity Martinez is a better player.
No, no.
He's a better player than Jordan Morris.
He's not a successful.
He's just not consistent.
What does that mean?
Hey, can I cut back in here?
Go ahead, Gio.
Yeah, because here's the thing for me, because it's like Jason said, at a certain point, when do you just take those 15 goals, 10 assists? Is all of those players might be better soccer players, and some of them definitely are, but at a certain point, the point of the game is to score goals. So if I want goals on my team, I want Jordan Morris.
No, the point of the game is to win.
Yes, but winning requires goals.
Yeah, but okay.
Goals.
Okay, but so you're going to say, let's make it different. Jonah Dos Santos is a better player than Jordan Morris, but he's not going to score goals. So it's a bit of it matters. I would put Jonah Dos Santos as higher on that list than Jordan Morris.
Okay, so he's
not giving me 15 and 10.
The question is a value to the team, whether it is you need goals to win, you also need to prevent goals to win, right? So your value to the team can be both things. And by the way, a center back could be in the top 10 in Major League Soccer. Maybe Michael Parra deserves to be there. I don't know how you feel about him right now this second, but the guy has been very, very good. Maybe you put Michael Parra in there. I don't know. But I think that obviously Jordan Morris can score goals. He can help create goals.
I don't like that this conversation is coming down to I don't appreciate Jordan Morris. I don't think he's a good player. I do. I think he's a very good player in this league. I just don't think he's at that tier 1 caliber. I think Rui Diaz is better than him.
Rui Diaz is more clinical as a goal scorer.
And that's maybe this is just how I qualify good or great or whatever it is, and it's gonna be different for every person.
You want flash? Is that what you're telling me? You want flash, and Jordan Morris is not flash.
Sure.
I guess maybe
you didn't even mention Joseph Martinez.
Well, he's the third, but
I would put Joseph Martinez up there. So I've named I think 7 now.
So okay, you've gotten to 7,
and that was just off the top of my head. I got to think about it to get further. I don't know.
You'd have to think about is there any is Abear better? Is Gustavo Bo better? Is Carlos Hill better?
I don't think Bo's better. I don't.
Is anybody Pozuelo's better? Pozuelo's definitely better. Is Josie better right now? No. Okay.
No. And I would think different positions too. But Josie's been hurt for so long that it's hard to get consistent look at him and think that he's better or not. I don't know.
Okay. You got anything else you want to throw in here, Gio, before we let you go?
Yeah, just last thing on Morris is what do we do with what does he do with his career now? Does he just keep on being a fantastic player in MLS, or is it time for him to get over his dog and just go abroad?
Get over his dog.
Well, you could take a dog with you. That's the part I don't understand. Can't you just get shots and take it?
Yeah, I mean, different countries have different rules. You know how basically Americans aren't allowed certain places, Jared. That's kind of how they operate with dogs too. Dogs.
I think Jordan Morris's career path and trajectory is going to be just fine whether he stays here or goes abroad. He's on a good trajectory, and if it stays just like it is now, it's a successful career.
Okay, so here's a question for you. Thanks for the call, Gio. Appreciate it, man. Here's a question for you, Jordan Morris. You were talking about earlier how he qualifies for a work permit in England, which might help his transfer value. It didn't seem to. He's 25. He'll be 26 at the end of this month. First of all, do you know how many goals he has for the national team? Can you guess?
National team, I would say 7.
He has 10 goals for the U.S. national team. So he has 39 caps and 10 goals, and he's 25, soon to be 26. Where does he end up? What do you think his number is when he's done?
When you said where does he end up, I actually thought something different, because given the striker pool of the U.S. national team right now, the only way he may be able to prolong his use at the national team with the youth that's coming up behind him at his position may be to try to transition to a striker role.
Okay, but what do you think?
He's got the body for it.
I don't need you talking about Jordan Morris's body on this show. What do you think he finishes with, caps and goals?
You say he's at 39 caps right now?
39 caps, 10 goals.
25
goals?
No, I'm sorry. He's 25 years old. I apologize.
Yeah.
I think, I'm going to say that he ends up, I think 25 is actually a good number. I think he's going to have better people around him to create. It's just a matter if he gets enough minutes as the youth rounds in behind him, and if he gets forced out of the starting lineup. That's the biggest question about in terms of his arc at the national team. He has a role for the next 10 years. But it's just a matter of how many more years is it a starter.
And he has a role for 5 years. I don't know if I'm going to give him 10. Sorry about
Chris
that.
Wondolowski had a role until he was 35, because we don't make strikers. We don't make anyone that for the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes a game can push it. Jordan Morris can do that.
Well, he's got speed. He's got some athleticism. I give you that. I was trying to pull up the goal scorers in MLS history, or sorry, U.S. men's national team history, just the total number of goals. I mean, obviously we know that Clinton and Landon are tied at the top of that list. I don't know.
By the way, can't we just make a friendly and let both of them start and just see if one of them can break it?
What at this point they're like this?
Just a throwaway friendly, and let each of them decide on what 9 players are going to play with him on the field and put up a game against, I don't know, Grenada, and just let's see what happens.
By the way, do you know? So I don't know where I'm trying to find the actual damn stats, which I can't seem to pull up here right now, but 25 would put Jordan Morris in some really good company.
Can I take a guess of who's around there?
Yeah, go ahead.
25 goals. I'm going to say that. Man, I'm going to say that. Part of me wants to say Edson Buttle, and I think that's going to be too Edson Buttle.
No, Edson Buttle isn't close to 25 goals. Not even.
Eddie Johnson went past 25 though.
I can't even find where is Edson Buttle on this list. He's not on this list.
No,
Eddie Johnson is a good shout.
He's close to 25. I would have thought he got into the 30s or 40s.
Eddie Johnson?
Yeah, I mean, he started off with like 6 goals in his first 10 games.
Your level is way off. The top goal scorer in U.S. men's national history, Landon and Clint, is 57. So adjust from there. Think about how many.
I'm thinking Brian McBride.
Brian McBride had 30 goals in his U.S. men's national team career. So if Jordan Morris gets to 25, he's only 5 back of Brian McBride, who's an absolute legend. He'd actually be ahead of Joe Baxmore, who had 24, Bruce Murray, who had 21 back in the dark ages, Eddie, who had 19 in his.
What have you done?
God, he fell off.
And then Michael Bradley on 17, DeMarcus Beasley on 17, Ernie Stewart on 17, Kobe on 15. That's the list. Eric Ronaldo 34. He used to be the record holder. Josie passed him. He's got 42. So there you go.
Man,
so
Eddie
Jordan Morris has
so many in his first games that I thought for sure he had paced further than that.
He's got 10 right now?
10.
I don't think he goes past 15.
I think he'll get to 20. I think he can get to 20. But
I just don't see him playing a lot with the
well,
don't you think with the but with the talent coming behind him, okay, yeah, I guess that's true. But
he's going to play in the next year. He's going to play in the next year.
Are they going to play?
Well,
he'll be in this World Cup squad as a starter.
Ooh, I don't know about
that. That is a little bit dicier for me. I think.
You think Gio Reyna's going to be ready in time for the World Cup?
He might be.
Yeah,
he might be. In fact, I mean, we're talking wingers now, which is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do the Marco Polo for the forward pool, but we're also out of time, so we're gonna wrap this up. We can't get into it. I was gonna talk about Aaron Johansson, Jared, who honestly, with the state of the
brace over the weekend,
state of the forward pool right now, do you put Aaron Johansson back into it?
Man, I was ready to put Terrence Boyd into it. Yeah, I'll take Aaron Johansson.
You were.
People talk about Julian Green, and he's in the second Bundesliga.
I can't believe you were standing up for Terrence Boyd.
I'm just telling you, if someone's going to put up 20 goals, you should be at least looking at him.
I guess. I mean, that's desperation.
I think he got hurt though.
By the way, so again on the pool, and maybe we'll do this next time, or maybe we'll make it part of the bonus show. If you want to hear the bonus shows, patreon.com/JD and the Rod to jump in, be part of the Slack, get the bonus content. We're working on new bonus stuff. We're going to do Q&As. I was going to say that Josh Sargent, who we're waiting for, Jared, and we need more depth than that. Don't get me wrong, but who we're waiting for? Florian Kohfeldt, the manager of Werder Bremen, says, I can't imagine an opening day lineup without Josh Sargent.
His striker pool must be as bad as the US's.
You just don't believe in Josh Sargent? Is that what you're telling me?
It's not I don't believe in him. It's just there's nothing to show that why I should right now.
He's been scoring goals in preseason. He looks really good. He actually had 6 and something. He's been better than any
Terrence Boyd's goals in competitive matches in the third division mean more to me than preseason goals with Werder Bremen.
He's 20 years old. This is what I'm trying to tell you. And he scored 6 goals in the Bundesliga, and he's 20 years old. You would have flipped over that 5, 6, 8 years ago. Now you're just like crapping on Josh Sargent.
Wait, how many goals?
I think he had 6 this past year.
That's not good enough for a starting striker.
Really? Are you serious? You are
Bobby would have more goals than that in the Bundesliga.
All right, I don't have let's say who's an American striker right now who gets regular starts in Major League Soccer.
You can't find one.
Yeah, well, I was going to say
Josie Altidore. That's the answer.
I was thinking Adam John. Josie Altidore is not the answer because he's already in the national team.
Jossie Zardes.
No, he's in the player. Well, okay, fine. Okay, that's actually perfect. Gyasi Zardes scores 15 goals in Major League Soccer.
Yeah.
You would rather start him than 6 goals in the Bundesliga, Josh Sargent, at 20 years old. I know his age maybe shouldn't be a factor here, but I'm just curious. You would rather play
This is a tough one because Gyasi Zardes has a tough spot in my brain already. It's not
that's why he's not the perfect choice.
But I still think 15 goals makes that's probably more impressive to me than 6. I just is. I mean, I'd have to see what the 6 goals look like and what kind of plays they came from.
Hold on. Why does
they
that
could be
matter?
penalties for all I know.
No, he's not taking penalties at 20 for a Bundesliga team. You got to be kidding me.
Gyasi Zardes' midriff scores a lot of goals, and that's valuable.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Okay. We're gonna wrap this up. Finish things out. It's been a spirited contest. I don't know what happened tonight, but we seem to be fighting quite a bit. All right. Anything else to talk about before we get out of here? Before we finish up?
Just look for us on Sundays. Monday drops going forward, and Jason may have something a little special coming out on the same feed.
Stuff. Yeah, the new show, the Best Soccer Show, under the umbrella. It's a brand, the whole thing. And we are going to work. I saw somebody mention earlier. We are going to talk to Icarus about a jersey. I don't know, again, if we're going Old Dad FC on that, or if we're going to do the Best Soccer Show, what exactly we're doing, but we need to do something about that. I'm going to implore everybody again. If you haven't left us a rating or a review, go to iTunes and do it. Obviously, not everybody uses iTunes or Apple Podcasts or has an Apple account, but if you do, please leave us a review. We did really good at the launch of the show. I'd like to see us get to like 200 in the next couple of weeks just to keep the momentum going. It helps us out a lot. It lets people know we're back because they don't show up and find us unless you review us and we're up there in the top.
Maybe next week I'll pick out a good review and read it at the end of the show.
We should have Nikki Soup and Sausage read some
by
reviews.
the way, speaking of a good review, shout out to our boy Daryl Grove, who left us a nice review on our.
He did. Yes. Yeah. Daryl Grove is the best. Love that guy. All right. That's it, Mr. Dubois. I got nothing left. We can continue this at a later date. Anything else?
I just feel beaten down.
Come on, energized, ready to go.
This is my punishment for having hot takes.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Eddie, what have you done for me lately? Get to the chopper!
Danger zone! I wouldn't be caught dead in a sweater vest. You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Oh, crazy. You got to coordinate. Don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 45 minutes.
I wouldn't be caught dead in a sweater vest.
Get to the chopper!
Finish him. To feel respect for the dead.
Playing hot dogs and donuts with 2 fangirls in the locker room.
The horror show.
I don't like this game. Your men are brutish and their play is ugly.
Jay Rodius.